Hi, I'm Susan. I love to teach, I love to cook, so let's get going. Oh, and don't ever be afraid to cook. Welcome to my cooking space, the hot stock pot. Let's pick a recipe. Ooh, oven fried chicken strips. One thing to keep in mind about this recipe is that you have to plan and start the night before because the chicken needs to marinate overnight. Oh, that's good stuff. The spice mixture is the key to this whole recipe. It has chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and paprika. So first we're gonna make the marinade. We're gonna stir up the spice mixture, mix it up really well. And then we're gonna take 2 tablespoons of it. So that's why it has to be mixed up really well. Get all the spices. Come on, spices, mix up. All right, so we take 2 tablespoons of it, pour it into a bowl. Then we add the buttermilk. And stir it up. Look at that marinade. All right, come here, chickens. Come to Susan. Here we go. Woo! Sharp knife. We cut each chicken breast, which I've trimmed of all the yucky stuff. We trim each of these chicken breasts into 4 strips. 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't all have to be the same size. Earrings, and right into the marinade. Woo! All right. I find that a very sharp serrated knife works the best for chicken breasts. Like that. All right. You know, you might want to buy extra chicken breasts if the ones you're getting are kind of small. So all the chickens are in here, and we just want to stir it up and make sure that they're all exposed to the delicious marinade. Of course, the marinade has buttermilk, which is acidic, so that's gonna help tenderize the chicken and soak in. But just to help it a little bit, what we're gonna do is get aggressive with this chicken, and we're gonna start poking it. Be kind, be gentle, but still poke it. And watch out, because it splashes. But we want to just kind of make some holes in these chickens so that the marinade soaks in and flavors this delicious dish. All right. And this is going to soak anywhere from 6 to 24 hours. I'm going to let it go overnight. So we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll do the second half, which is going to be creating the breading mixture and baking them. See you tomorrow. I'm back. Did you miss me? Where were we? Oh yeah. First thing we're gonna do is melt the butter on our baking sheet. All right, so we're gonna use a knife and we're gonna cut maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons onto our baking sheet, just like that. Maybe like a half a stick. And then we're gonna throw it in the oven, not literally, and let it melt. So let's get it into the oven. We've preheated our oven to 400 degrees. Just so you know, you have to keep checking to make sure that you're not burning the butter in the oven. You have to check it periodically. It takes just a few minutes. I forgot to mention that we do have a piece of parchment paper. And now we're just gonna take a pastry brush and spread the butter over the whole paper, just just like this. And our chicken is gonna go on this. All right. All right, so now we're gonna make our coating mixture that's gonna coat the chicken strips that we made yesterday. It's made out of flour and panko breadcrumbs and a little cornmeal, and let's go. So, oh, and I forgot the most important part, our spice mixture, the rest of the spice mixture that we made yesterday. Remember, we put a little bit in the marinade, and now this is what's left. So let's get going. And again, this is how I like to measure flour. All right. Oops. And then the panko. Panko breadcrumbs are really cool to cook with. I almost like them better than regular breadcrumbs. All right, so here we go. A little light on the cornmeal. You don't want too much cornmeal. And then the piece de resistance, our spice mixture. Now, what we're gonna do is divide this in half. So we're gonna dip half of our chicken strips in one bowl and half in the other. And the reason for that is that we don't want our coating mixture to get all mushy from the coating. You'll see what I mean. So just half and half, like that. Doesn't have to be exact. Just kind of eyeball it. All right, time for the chicken strips. So we have our pan, our buttered pan, and we have our chicken strip. Whoa! Good morning. All right, into the batter. And then we just toss it around. Come on. Shake off the excess and lay it gently on the buttered pan. Very gently. These are such good little chicken tenders. Look at that. This is the last one. And I think we can just squeeze it in here. There it is. All right. Into the oven. Okay, first part done. We're out of the oven. Now, what I'm gonna do is something a little different because these chicken breasts that I use were very big. So these strips are kind of close together, and ordinarily I would like them to be a little farther apart. So I made a second pan with the butter, just like the first pan. And what we're gonna do is lift these up and flip them and put them onto here. See how nice and golden brown those are? It's the butter that does that. So just gonna flip them like that. Yum. So now that they've been flipped, back into the oven for another few minutes. Never eat undercooked chicken. Always check with the thermometer, 165 degrees. All right, we are out of the oven and this is what it will look like. But one thing that you can do after this, it's optional, these are delicious just the way they are, is we can throw them under the broiler for a minute or two just to get an extra crispy topping. And I'm gonna do that. So the broiler is heating up and I'm just gonna throw it in for like a minute or two. Watch it very carefully because it can easily burn. And we are done. Now the purpose of putting them under the broiler is not to cook them further, it's just to crisp them up. Here we go. Now what I have here is a little dipping sauce. You can use any dipping sauce you want. This happens to be a mango chutney kind of thing. Look at that. Oh my God. You're gonna eat the whole tray. The crunch. Can you hear it? But marinating in the buttermilk all night gives it a softness, a richness, because it absorbs all those flavors. You got to give it a try. See you next time.